Hi everybody, welcome again to the StatSuite channel. This time we have version 4. In version 4 we introduce neural networks. Now StatSuite is able to train neural networks. Then you save a file and then you can use this neural network in the future, or you can share this file to another device. Remember that StatSuite is available for Android as well and for Windows, so you can use that neural network for prediction or classification in this device or in another device. Well, so this video is about the first option, training a neural network. So first we have to load the data. I'm going to click on import export. I am pressing all the time to show you where I am clicking. So this doesn't mean that the application is slow, it's just to show you what I'm doing, okay? Well, if you have the trial version, I'm simulating here, I have the trial version. The last option, low trial data iOS flowers, you will see that. If you click there, you will load this data we are going to use. If you have the full version, you have to click on the first option and then examples from the application, zip file, and then you select iris flowers. Okay, so let's close this because this is the trial version. I click on import export. Last option. Okay, so let's have a look to this training set. We click on global data. Well, so we are going to use for instance the first sample classifier. Classifier is 1 when the flower is setosa. Is 2 when it's versicolor, and it's 3 for virginica. Okay, we have 150 flowers, and we have measure sepal length and width, and petal length and width. Okay, so let's use this training set. We click on neural networks, first option, and now we are going to follow this panel from the top to the bottom. So in the top, in the very top, we have to select if we want to make regression or classification, and then if we are going to use a validation set or not. Well, I'm not going to teach you what is a neural network or how to train it. Just I think that in my opinion, if you use a validation set, it's a bit more difficult because you have to take decisions, but you avoid that the neural network is overtrained, it's memorizing the training set, so you can stop the training before this happens. We have two options using validation set. Last rows, you select the number of last rows that are going to belong to the validation set, or random selection. In this case, we can only use random selection because the last rows are only for virginica flowers, so they are not representative of the rest of cases. So we select this one. Then we see in red that we don't have input nodes, output nodes. StatSuite can only draw that we have one hidden layer, okay, one hidden layer with 8 nodes. So now let's select the input nodes. We click on select input nodes, and what we are going to do is to predict this value using these 3. A very important point is it doesn't matter in which order you click these three variables. The first node is going to be this one because it's the first one in the order here on this panel. And the last one, the third node, is going to be this. Nice, we click on close, and then you can see the drawing. We have three input nodes. Now we select the output nodes, and this is the output. We click on close. Okay, we are making a regression, a prediction about the value. Well, let's use one hidden layer. This is a very easy problem. Even we could reduce the number of nodes in a hidden layer, but anyway, let's use 8. The next options are the value of training, decay, restart. Restart 0 means that there is only one restart, one random weights at the very beginning, and this is not going to happen more. 0 restart. Validations. We have 150 cases, so let's increase this to 20. Okay. Iterations per restart. Let's use 100 and we take decisions. And I'll explain you later the meaning of this. Okay, so 100 iterations. And then we click on train. Well, I recommend you to read the PDF file because in the PDF file, of course, there are more things explained there. And one of the things explained is that the training happens in the background. So sometimes the training is very time consuming. Now it's going to be very fast because it's a short number of cases. But if you train a difficult, with many cases, a difficult neural network, the training is in the background. You can use your phone, you can make a phone, you can use another menus of StatSuite, okay? Because it's in the background. So I click on train. This is very fast. And success. It says to you that the neural network, the best neural network has been saved with name, default, and end. But this is not, as you can see, this is not the network we are going to use as final trained neural network. And if you want to know which rows have been used for the validation set, this has been saved in memory, and you can save it in one of the samples. So we click on close. And now, we have to consider this chart. Okay, we have three charts. We had this before, but automatically it has changed to this one. So you have to consider the smallest values of the chart. So make a zoom there. There is a sliding bar. Okay, you see. So we zoom this, and there is a number of iterations when the value of the mean square error, so the error in the prediction, increases in the validation set. So that means that the neural network is starting to memorize the cases. So the number of iterations we have to use, well, it depends, because if you run this again, could be 30, 25, but in this case it's about 20. So with 20 iterations is enough, because if you train more iterations, it seems like it's real that memorizing is happening. So we have two options: reducing this value to 20, or using that option. So let's try both options. So let's reduce this to 20, and then we click on train. Okay. And then we check that, yes, there is no overtraining. And then you have a file with this name that is this neural network. Okay, the last one. okay? But the problem is, if you train again, this file is going to be overwritten because it's always saving with this name. So what you have to do is to change this name, for example, example 1. Okay, and then this file is not going to be overwritten. Now I click on Save, and that's it. This is my neural network, and this is a file, a text file that you can share. Okay, you have all the details in the PDF file. Well, so we have finished. Now what we can do is to see what are the outputs of this neural network. To save the outputs, you click on the top on Help Options, and then save the output node 1. In this case, there is only one output. Where? So the first empty one is F. And there are some options here that are not available because they are for classification. Later we train for classification. And I click on Save. That's it. So let's have a look to sample F. We go to Global Data, sample F, and here you have the prediction. This is 506, and the true value was 5.1. Okay, 4.9, and the prediction is 4.6. Nice. Okay, so this is the outputs. By the way, the mean square error, you have here the mean square error for the validation set and for the rest of cases. And you can copy these results clicking on Help Options, copy results to clipboard. Well, in the PDF file, this explains how to share the charts. Okay, you can save the chart and copy to the clipboard and so on. Okay, let's close this. And now, let me show you the meaning of this option. So let's use again 100 or a bit more of iterations, for instance 120, with this option activated. Okay? Let's see what happens. I click on Train, and we can see that there is some new text. As Save Periodically have been selected, we have 10 new files that have been saved with names periodical NN1, periodical NN2, and so on. And now we have to select one of them. So we click on Close, and you see here the numbers 1 to 10. 1 is when it was saved, periodical NN1. So we make zoom with the sliding bar and see that we have to select number 2. Number 2 is close to the minimum here, and from number 2 the error of the validation set increases because the neural network starts to memorize the training set. Okay, so the problem is if you click on Train again, these files are going to be overwriting. So don't worry, because in the in this menu, use Train Network, there you can rename this file. Therefore, you are not going to lose that information. Well, so we have used neural network for regression, and now let me show you how to use it for classification. We are going to use classification, but again with random rows, this option. So input nodes, we are going to use all the information, and this is what we want to predict. Now I click on Close, and it's going to complain because now sample A is at the same time as input as output. Okay? Yes. So that's true. So let's solve it. Now this is not the output, the output is this one. Well, so if we see the neural network, we have 4 inputs and 1 output. There's another option. You could use 3 outputs. 1 output for setosa, 1 when it's setosa, and 0 when it's not setosa. The second output for versicolor, 1 versicolor, 0 no versicolor, and the third output for virginica. Well, so if you want to do it in this way, by the way, the results are very similar in this case. In other cases, could be better one of the options. I'll show you how to do it. So let's go to the data menu, and we click on Generate Dummy Variable for Regression. Okay, if you know what is that, now you are imagining what we are doing. Well, so we are taking values from the classifier, 1, 2, 3, and we are generating 3 samples. The first sample, let's search for an empty one, for instance this. And now, text or value to be converted to 1. 1, I want 1 when it's 1, and 0 when it's not 1. Okay, we click on Generate. And now, next sample. I want a 1 when it's 2, the second class of flower. And now, in this sample, I want a 1 when it's 3. So let's have a look. Close. Global data. And here, we have here the 3 outputs, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and 0, 0, 1. This is the other way of doing that. If you want to do it in this way, the output nodes now are this, this, and this. Okay? Okay, this is now the structure of the network. Well, you can try both. Let's use the first option, classifier, and now we are going to train. We are going to train. We could do it in both ways, okay, with this option and without this option. So let me do it using this option. We click on Train, close, and again we have to consider when the neural network starts to memorize. Again, here there is a minimum in about 30, and the objective of the neural network is the percentage of successive good classifications. But we are not plotting this because we are plotting like a regression, because we have values 1, 2, 3, and I want the neural network to predict 1, 2, 3. So the predictions has to be very close to 1, to 2, and to 3. So this can be treated like a regression in order to see the evolution of the training. So I'm going to stop the training with 30 iterations. I'm going to train again. This error sometimes happens because we are training on the background, but there is no malfunction, so don't worry. We click on Close, okay, and we see there is no overtraining. So this is our final network. So I'm going to save it as example 2. And click on Save. And then, what are the outputs of this neural network for classifications? We have here the percentage of good classifications. So if I click on the top on help options, the output, we have only one output, and I can save it, for instance, here. And now we have two options, saving predictions or saving real outputs. To see the difference, we are going to do both options. So I click on save, I click on close, and then I go to global data, and I can see here the prediction. The first 50 values are 1, this is correct. Here there is an error, a mistake in the prediction. Another one here. All of them now are correct. And then, beginning in 101, it has to be 3. Here there is another error. And that's it, okay? Well, if you want to see the real outputs, because these values are rounded, if you want to see the real outputs, let's go back to the menu. We click on the top, and then I select Save Real Outputs. I click on Save, and then I go to Global Data, and here, okay, instead of 3, I have 299, 304. This is the reason you can treat the training like a regression, because you want these values to be very close to 3. Okay? And at the beginning, they have to be close to 1. Okay, so we have saved 2 neural networks, and in the next video, because there is a video for the option of using a trained neural network, I explain you how to use these files for making predictions with new values, new data. So I hope you find StatSuite easy for training neural networks. Okay, bye-bye.